Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
What's going on, Detroit? And welcome to another Monday night with Equally Not, where we bring you the hottest talk in the nighttime. I want to give a special shout out to 7 Mile Radio for giving us this power hour to give y'all that good talk. How you doing, T-Boss? I am DL Collins, your host, along with my beautiful co-host, Profile E.
What's going on, y'all?
So before I get on to the topic, of course, I just want to shout out YMG Creations. My cup for this week is this. Elephants are my favorite, so I don't know if y'all. I got my good DL Collins cup. What I'm drinking in my cup tonight is the Ciroc Vodka Spritzer, pineapple, absolutely amazing. I also want to congratulate Lisa Carter. Lisa Carter took home the Detroit Choice Award after being nominated for 4 times. She tried 4 times, top 3 4 times. She finally brought it home. Congratulations, Lisa. We are super proud of you. Also, we got we just finished the Trap and Paint in Atlanta with Big Sexy. We about to bring Big Sexy to the D. I just need to know if y'all ready for him to come to the D or not, because that's the only way I'm gonna bring him out. But we had such a good time. Atlanta don't owe a shit. They came and showed the fuck out for us Detroiters. They definitely did. They came, they was lit, we had a good time. Big Sexy showed the fuck out, and it was just a vibe, right?
Yeah.
It was a vibe.
I'm still tired.
Yes, man, that was great. And then we got the CEO Expo that's coming up. The CEO Expo, October the 1st. We bringing some bosses to Detroit. I'm talking about some real millionaire boss women who doing their thing. Definitely, if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, get your ticket. They are only $45. $45 get you in the door to all of this awesome sauce that's about to be spilled in this building on October the 1st. If you want VIP, it's only $95. $95 get you right in the front row so you can hear and see everything that you need to hear and see. It's giving you some food. You got a swag bag. And then you get a chance to speak one-on-one with whatever and whoever you want to have that one-on-one conversation with to get you to where you need to be. But definitely be in the building October the 1st. It is going down.
And we got 2 of the Detroit winners on the panel.
We do. Well,
LaShawn.
Yep. LaShawn, yes. LaShawn Peterson also took that Detroit Choice Award home. One of the real estate gurus. Yes. How can I not even? Yeah. Yes. LaShawn, good, well deserved, right?
Man.
Well deserved.
That's why I keep telling people, if you are even a little bit interested in real estate and building the business of it,
yes,
you gotta come see them.
Yes, and just understanding that, you know what I'm saying, outside of that real estate thing, and if that's not your thing, they still got that food for you, right? They still got that sauce for you, because everything ties into, you know, that business mind, and they out here doing the damn thing. Like if they ain't millionaires by now, they well on their way.
Yeah, I would say they might be.
Because they done sold some shit, right?
Yeah.
So
and then all the collaborations that they're coming up with here, Houston, they're flying everywhere with collaborations. So
yes, they do. I'm proud of them, man.
Yes,
they
sexy
do.
voice
down. That's our new shit, y'all. Big Sexy came through with the talk, baby.
Yes.
He's definitely motivation for anybody. But anyway, on to tonight's topic. We talking about parenting. And, you know, are we to blame for the way that our children turn out? Are we to blame for their actions? I know, you know, people want to take the, you know, they want to pat themselves on the back when their children are doing good. But what about when their children are doing bad and they feel like they don't want to have any parts, or, oh, it's not my fault that they're bad, you know, but they'll take on the accolades when they're doing good, or, you know, when they turned out great. So as a parent, are we to blame for our kids' actions? You started off profile.
Well, thanks, I guess. Nah. You know, I always say when I see something new, it's like, where the hell is that baby parents? Like, how did you not know your kid was out at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning? You know, but then again, on the parent side, what if she a nurse at an ER working overnight? You know what I'm saying? And then trusting that their child is going to be in the house and being the kid, you know, the semi-adult that they're supposed to be. So it's a yes and it's a no.
Okay.
It's a yes and a no because some of these parents be knowing what the hell their kids be doing.
Right.
I guarantee you some of these parents know what their kids are doing, and some are oblivious because they don't pay attention. They don't care.
Right.
It's not like when we were growing up when the whole block raised you. The
Right.
whole block raised you. I remember getting in trouble in 5th grade, and before I could get home, because my math teacher stayed at the corner, the next door neighbor knew I was in trouble. And couldn't wait till my grandpa pulled up and said, you know you ain't got in trouble school today. What you got that? Why you snitching on me? But the whole block knew I got in trouble in school.
Yeah.
Because all the parents talk. All the grandparents talk.
Yeah, but how would they know that you got in trouble in school?
Because Miss Hunter told me. Miss Hunter told. I said my math teacher stayed at the corner.
Okay.
And she told Miss Jackson. Miss Jackson called Miss Agnes. Miss Agnes told Fred's mom across the street. I was just like, no, what? No. I didn't even do nothing that bad.
Yeah.
But guess what? They all knew. And they made sure my grandma knew because if I didn't tell her, they were going to make sure she knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when parenting was of a whole. Everybody parenting, everybody kids.
There was this thing that's called the village.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That used to exist. It's now evaporated now. It's like we got the kids because you know, when the parents started having kids at the age of the kids, you ain't developed enough to know what it's like. When kids start having kids younger, people start having kids younger,
and then you got the
and
ignorance.
don't
nobody discipline my kid but me.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I
That's
can't because for me I can't blame it on, you know, being a young parent because a lot of our parents were young, right?
No,
so
I'm not saying
17, 16, you know, back in, you know, back in the day they were having babies at 14 and 15 and 16
but
simply because
now today though, these kids is having the kids that age are coming from parents who's not really teaching them the ropes.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. It's not
right.
So it's not just necessarily just having a kid young because shit, my mom had me when she was 17. You
right.
know what I mean? So
right.
But at the same time, it's like, you know, in this day and age when there's less accountability being held for the things that people do.
Right.
You know, it's almost we in the day and age now. Like when people do something wrong, or when people's kids do something wrong, you get checked for checking the kid more so than
exactly.
That's my point.
So now we can't help to raise them or instill any morals or things into them because the parents will be like, who are you to do this to teach my kids?
Right.
That's the part. That's the part. Because I wish. You know, like,
they ain't got no good sense.
They don't, right? And that's why I tell people, don't send your kid over my house. If I can't discipline like they mad, don't send them over there. I used to tell Elon's friends like, hey, you coming over my house? Okay, now. But those mothers was just like, hey, treat her like she yours. If she did something wrong, if Elon go on time out, she go on time or whatever. But that's because those are the parents that want to be parents.
Yeah, the ones that lack parental skills are the ones that are to blame because we know that, like, you know, in the case of, and I can only speak for myself, like with my mother, she had a village. She had sisters and a mother and all of that to help out and, you know, to help instill those same things. And other people don't have those tools around them to help them. So, you know.
Yeah.
And everybody wasn't ready to be no parent. They just became one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, most definitely.
But so for me, you know, again, like I said, you know, people been having kids at young ages for a very long time. And so, right, it does start from how you were raised, right? But then I believe that that's an excuse for me, because just because you were raised a certain way don't mean that you take those same values and the same way that you were raised and you have a child and
you don't pattern yourself after the environment you was raised in.
Exactly. You kind of learn along the way. And even being a teenage parent, you still learn along the way, right? Parenting for you doesn't have to be how you were parented or parenting for anyone else. Do I think that parents are to blame for their children's actions? Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. Even though our children are going to choose their own way of living, and how they choose to do things, and if they choose to get in trouble or choose to do things kind of off the grid, I still feel like the parenting or the parent is um, to blame because you are the example, right? You're the example and you're the guidance. And so even because I'm a parent, right? And I'm a parent of 7. I birthed 5 children. And my wife brought in my daughter, and then
her too, 'cause she acts just like
and then we have a 4-year-old. And so starting I had my first child at 18, so we kind of grew up together. But and so that helped me. So because we did grow up together, I kind of learned how to I knew how I didn't want my kids to be. I knew what I didn't want to subject them to. I knew what I didn't want to.
See, now you differ from other parents who
yeah.
lack the parenting skills, right? Where you had the morals and the standards and the code,
Yeah.
within yourself already to instill into them, and some people don't even have. They don't have that mind and heart
right,
that you
and
got
that's
at
what I
that
was saying.
age.
Right.
Like she was saying, people, you have to want to parent different. A lot of people don't have the strength or the knowledge of how to parent different.
Right.
You parent how you were parented.
Some parents are
Right.
just toxic, bitter parents that really
Right.
just not weren't prepared to be parents and really don't want to be parents. That's the thing
Right.
about it. Sometimes they
Yeah.
don't
Right.
want to be. They don't want kids. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So now
Right.
this is a hindrance to them, and now the energy that they give towards that child is one of, I don't really give a damn.
And
Right, and so that's why-
some people
And
think
that's
their
why-
upbringing
and that's
wasn't,
why-
and
so
some
it's-
people think their upbringing wasn't wrong.
Right.
Right.
So
Like, I
it's the
came- I
lack,
came
it's
out-
the
like, I
lack
came out
of the
fine.
parenting that's the problem, right?
Right.
You had parental skills, right? Even at that age, to understand what was needed to raise the child. And some people just don't have. So it's really the lack of the parenting that's the problem. It's not the the pain. Well, it is their problem because it's the lack of them parenting.
Well, but see, and I don't always agree because look at the 15-year-old that shot the cop. The mama had said herself she had been trying to get this baby help.
Yeah. So
all-
now
all
sometimes
his life.
So it's not always
It's
the
not
parents,
always
right?
the parent.
Because
Right.
we know.
not.
So here's the thing, right? If you have been trying to get him help all of these years, then he would have gotten the help, right? Hear me out. Hear me out. Because a parent who really want to see their child succeed or want to see them do better or see something in them as a child to whereas they need that counseling or whatever the case may be, then they are diligently working on the child. So I hear that she's saying, I've been trying to get him help all his life, but you couldn't have been. Yeah, you may have called, to see if he could be checked into somewhere. When they told you no, you gave up. You may have called 1,000 times to the same call the same resource every time. I told y'all he bad. Come get him.
Well, not even
I
that.
told y'all he
had
got mental issues.
Yeah.
Come get him. Right? But as a parent, because you chose to be a parent, as a parent, you have to take other steps. Okay, they not helping him here in Michigan. Let me call Ohio to see what they got, because maybe I need to take him somewhere else. You don't ever give up on your children because somebody tell you
But
no.
see, now that's
right?
that's the wiring that you have.
Right. That's
Right.
your super
Right.
cape wearing ass. Everybody don't.
Right, but so at the end of the day, you do what it is necessary for your child. So you are the blame.
But maybe
You are the blame.
But see, that's the thing.
So now I gotta-
if she tried to help him, you know what I'm saying? She said, I've called the police. I've called the hospitals. I tried to get him admitted because he was underage. They wouldn't take him. She ran it down and like they pulled the charts. Like, oh yeah, she tried here. She tried here. Tried here. I don't feel she is to blame because at the end of the day, her life was at stake just like everybody else's.
Yeah, well, somebody said, Leanna said, I think that's an excuse. When people say I was raised that way, you at some point have to choose to be their kind of parent, the kind of parent you want to be, right?
But Leanne,
She
everybody
also
doesn't
says
think
the
their
system-
parenting, the
Now,
way
I
they
gotta-
was raised was wrong.
I got a kind of a contrast to that situation. Did I tell y'all? I think I told y'all the story about the 14-year-old runaway that I picked up tonight, driving Uber. Oh yeah, it was like 2:30 in the morning. She had ran away from home. So like when I used to drive Uber, especially in the wintertime at night when it's raining, I see women at the bus stop or something. If I'm going that way, I offer them a ride. My car all Ubered up, so they know I ain't no crazy. I'm like,
right.
I don't even want no money. I'm going that way. Come on, you know what I mean? So I'm coming back from the west side, coming up 7 Mile by Coney, and it's a lady, what I see riding up, what I think is a lady walking up the street, you know what I mean? And she don't look like she no homeless person, you know what I mean? But at the same time, she got a bag and a duffel bag, like a grocery bag with some clothes in it. Anyway, I pull up on her, and it turned out to be a 14-year-old girl. And I pulled up on her. I'm like, you need a ride? Because I see she young and looking scared. And it's like, no, I'm good. So I pull it off. Something told me to turn back around. I turned back around, there was another car, and I don't like to judge niggas, you know what I'm saying? But it was a dude that was probably up to no good, you know, hanging out the ride, trying to get her. You know, I pulled up in between her and the car, and I'm like, look, you see I'm an Uber driver. Like, where are you trying to go? Like, I'm trying to help you and shit. I'm trying to find a shelter. I'm like, come on, get in. I don't know shit about no shelter. So I'm driving around, she telling me the story. End up that she ran away from home because her mom moved in a dude who was treating her all kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? And the mom was kind of green lighting the shit, you know what I mean? So she just left, right? And you know, basically, I ended up giving the little girl a room and shit so she can stay the night wherever the fuck, because I wasn't about to let her roam the streets, and I'm driving Uber. I can't take my girl home and shit. So went back, picked her up and shit, because I still had the room key. I go in there, she sleep, her phone blowing up. I look at it and say, Dad. I'm like, oh shit, nigga, wake up, it's your dad. So long story short, I went live, dropped her off to her dad while I was live, because I'm like, yeah, this nigga, something happened. You know what I mean? She called her phone like, yeah, but tell him the story. Like, this dude picked me up, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, give me the phone. Let me
talk to daddy.
Long story short, again, trying to make it as short as possible, the girl ended up, when I went live, one of her, you know, my page is everybody in the city on that motherfucker. So it was somebody that knew her from childhood, an older lady from her church. Recognized her and told me her story about how she was actually like a damn near a straight A student. Right, but her mom just ratchet as hell, and she come from a crazy household. So now this girl come from this household is in turmoil, but she coming out trying to be a Rose and shit. Now she and the way she talking to, she like not no little young one of them type shit. She was talking intelligent and telling explain. I'm like, damn, so she got some shit like and her mama just. So that's a contract of a situation where she didn't let the environment that she was in turn her into what that environment was. You know,
she rather have ran away to go to a shelter versus I'm dealing with it.
And
that's
so
that's a lot of kids.
That's a lot of kids, and that's still putting the parent at fault and to blame for this thing. And so here's the thing too. When you brought up how the little girl, who you picked up. Well, one day, a young lady had came. She walking down the street, she asked if she could use our phone.
She asked me could I take her home.
Oh, right.
I was sitting outside with Harper, and I came in the house, and I was walking up to the porch, and she was like, "Excuse me, can you take me home?" And I'm just like, who walks up to somebody?
Who the hell are you?
Right, who walks up to somebody? And she was probably like, she was 14.
Yeah, she was 14.
She was 14. And I knew she was a baby. And I'm like, well, baby, where you stay? And she was like, I forgot what she said. I said, well, I can't take you home, but I'll get you a lift, because I'm like, and she was walking with a boy. That's why I said no. At first, I'm like, who is he? You know what I'm saying? Because you could be the setup kid. Because these kids are coming. These kids are coming earlier, more and more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, he could be the setup. Like, go ask her, can you take her home, and we gonna rob her. We gonna rob her in the park. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, well, no, I'll get you a lift where you stay at or whatever. So I went in the house and I told our daughters was sitting on the couch. Our two youngest was sitting on the couch, and she was in the bedroom. And I'm like, babe, let me get my phone. I said, do I even have a lift app still on my phone? I'm like, this little girl outside need a lift. She was like, what? So she's like, where's she from or whatever. So I called our youngest. I'm like, hey, look out here, see if you know these kids right here, whatever. So I'm asking her questions. I'm like, what you doing over here? She was like, I was at his house.
So I go out. I come outside because I wanted to, because I needed to. So
she's trying to get away from him, basically.
Right.
No, was after you came out, because she ended up telling you that she had gotten into a fight. Because I said, well, who is he?
Because I had to probe more. I had to ask more questions. Make a long story short, it was more to her needing a ride home, because then she said that her sister fought her.
No, her sister fought the girls.
Her sister fought the girls who she was with.
The sister, no, her sister left her at the boyfriend's house because his sisters caught them having sex.
Right.
So,
but the girl didn't tell us that she got caught having sex.
No, she told the girls. She told our daughter, because our daughter ended up taking her home. but her sister left her over there at the house, knowing that these girls then jumped on her and they was all fighting each other.
Damn.
Right, and when the girls got her home, when the girls took her home, the sister came out and was cussing and going.
On
So
the
it
phone
ended,
and everything.
yeah, so it ended up being something more than what it was, right? So it to me, that's one of those situations to whereas, you know, where's your mother?
Right.
Where is your father? Where is somebody, right? Because
Yeah, she said her mom was working.
her mom worked all day.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and so they were pretty much able to do what they wanted to do. But you know, again, that's that thing where you gotta take the steps that's necessary. If you gotta get a babysitter for your 14-year-old, don't be mad or don't feel no type of way because you gotta get a babysitter for your 14-year-old.
Like
because the kids still need to be monitored.
Every kid is not at the same level at that age of 14. Some
Exactly.
14-year-olds may be mature enough. Your friend's 14-year-old daughter may be mature enough to be left at home, and now because you feel like your daughter is that age now, she's mature enough to be left at home, and she's not.
Exactly.
You know, when she gets caught up in something.
And you have to know your daughter's mind frame.
That's what that's my point is.
Because your kids can be peer pressured into sneaking out the house. Where
If you know
this
your
child
kid
over
is
here gonna be
not-
like, I'm not leaving this goddamn house.
You
My
gotta
mom
know
ain't
your
about to
kid.
kick my butt.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know your kids, and if you feel like, you know, okay, no, she ain't gonna do nothing, and you come home one day like something ain't right. I told you clean my house. Why you ain't had time to clean the house? What you been doing?
Right.
Those are your signs. No, okay, you was doing something you
Yeah,
ain't
part
had
of
nothing to do.
knowing your kids is shit. Knowing what you instilled into your kids.
Yeah, and constant communication, right? It's because constant communication, constant talking, right? Because that's how you, even when they don't want to talk, you have to find a way to communicate the way that they communicate. Because you may go in one moment and think that you communicating and the communication fail because they're not giving you what you need to know about them. Kids,
How about you have to understand their level of comprehension
Yes.
while you're communicating, because you communicate
Yes.
to them till they blue in the face, but if they're not
Yes.
comprehending what you communicate, then
Yes.
it's going in one ear and out the other.
And you
Yes.
can't communicate to them as an adult. You have to communicate on their
their
level.
level. On that
exactly, exactly.
William Dew says discipline and love starts at birth. Most parents try to be
Go
there.
back to what Leanne said. Leanne Woodward. That was the next comment
Oh,
that
she
I was.
said,
The system fails kids and families every day. I work in social services here in Las Vegas. So it's
and
not
then,
just
and then he said
this
Detroit thing.
regional thing.
Yeah, exactly.
discipline and love starts at birth. Most parents try to be their kids' friends all the way up to middle school and high school, not teaching them respect, and then want to try to start teaching them respect when it's too late.
When it's too late.
Yeah,
Being
and so that's the thing.
being reactive as
Yeah,
opposed to proactive. You
proactive.
want to wait till they get disrespectful to try to correct it, as opposed to instilling respect into them at the age where they, where they needed that kind of instruction.
Exactly, or allowing them to be disrespectful all of their lives, and then when you're tired of it, you try to instill something different.
I got another one
right?
too. When you yourself display these disrespectful characteristics and traits, and they pick it up from you,
Absolutely.
and now when they reflect it back at your ass, it's a problem.
Absolutely. I talk about that all the time. I'm just like, to get respect, you have to give respect. And so what makes you think if you're disrespectful to your children that they're going to be respectful of you? It's not going to happen.
Now, I'm not no
It's not
Bible
gonna
thumper,
happen.
right? But they say, the children are to honor your mother and father, right? But they
Right.
skip the part about the parents not provoking the child.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
You know what I'm saying?
just 'cause
Let's
you the
we got
talk
a lot
about
of
it.
toxic
You the parent,
parents.
yeah,
Let me
that
tell
just
you
feel
something.
like
Make
you're
it
just supposed
right,
to talk
yeah.
any old kind of way and
But
whatever I say
you know,
goes.
A
our,
lot of
our
people-
parents grew up like that though. I'm the parent, you do what I say.
Yeah,
I
or-
said so.
And then do as I say,
Or
not
be
as I
seen,
do.
right?
Yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do, and be seen and
not
not heard.
Mm.
Here's the thing for me: a lot of people don't like the fact that in my household, yes, I am the parent, right? But I do give my children and have always given my children the yes.
Opportunity to speak.
Speak, yes, and here's the thing: respect go both ways, right? I can't disrespect you and expect for you not to disrespect me, right? It just
not
don't
provoke your child.
right. It just don't work like that. And the same, people feel like I'm well, probably not a bad parent, but damn, she let her kids talk to such and such any kind of way. Well, here's my thing, right?
You gotta let them express themselves sometimes.
And not only that, my kids have always been taught that if somebody is disrespectful to you, you don't have to clam up and be in a shell and not say what you feel. Say what you feel, because I don't care, because you can't use that I'm the adult thing with my kids. You can't use that, right? You can't be like, oh, I'm older, I'm the adult. You
that shit don't make you right at all.
It don't make you right
and
at
that
all.
that type of rhetoric is sometimes what steers the child in the direction of rebellion.
Exactly.
Right, because it's not who in the fuck are you. I'm gonna do what I want. I know that you're wrong.
Exactly.
So I'm not gonna just succumb to your bullshit. Like, I'm gonna rebel and do what I want to do. You know what I mean? And now on top of that, I'm not even gonna talk to you about shit that I need to talk to you about.
Exactly.
Because you on that you on some bullshit.
Exactly.
Like, you're not relating to me. You're trying to dictate me.
Exactly. And a lot of people, and that's that thing, when you become a parent, you were raised in a situation to whereas you were everything you did was dictated to you and ridiculed, and you were down and you were told, or you feel like that's okay. You feel like it's right.
And now you start to do it.
And you start to do it. And you don't even understand that you had a voice. You just weren't able to use it.
You weren't able to use it, yeah.
And so now you have to change your thought process. And now you have to understand that, let me go back to when I was this age,
You have to
right?
unlearn what I learned.
You have to unlearn what you, absolutely, that's all. That's all. You got to unlearn to relearn. And it's okay, right? Because I'm huge on that. I'm big on that. I'm big on, giving my kids a voice. I'm big on allowing them to, not be disrespected. You can't call me out my name. You can't, yell at me and cuss at me and feel like I'm going to, be okay with that because I'm human, right? And yeah, that's huge for me. That's huge for me. I finally cut the show. Hey, Londi Poo. And I do agree with Will.
Well, I mean, I agree, but I disagree because you can still be you not saying being your child's best friend, but you still have to have that door open so that your children can come to you.
Right, because it's a different. That's different. That's different than being your friend and letting your kid opening up the door for your kids to, come to you and talk to you. Anything. Case in point, a close friend of ours, right? Mm-hmm. Her relationship that she has with her child, right? Yeah. That relationship was so toxic because for the longest, that child was able to say and do and be whoever she wanted to, right? And that's because they were friends, mm-hmm. right? They were friends because that's all she had, mm-hmm. right? And then when she got older, it was like, I'm sick of your shit. You gonna quit motherfucking talking to me any kind of way. And then it became a beat situation, right? Where they throwing bows, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Because she waited too late. Because now because now you are starting to see other environments and you're starting to see, different parenting skills. And so you're starting to see that, damn, my daughter is disrespectful as hell to me. I've been letting this go on for all these years, and now I'm trying to stop it, but it can't be stopped. She's already
what she is.
Mm-hmm. She's already who she is.
Because me and DL and C the same eye to eye on parenting at first, because I was raised, your parent is your parent. And if your step parent come in, that's your parent as well. It don't matter if it's not your biological daddy, biological mother. It's still a parent, and you're still supposed to respect them as a parent. That's how I was raised. I mean, most people I think are raised the same way. You respect the person as a parent,
right?
And that's what I said. We didn't see eye to eye at first because I just didn't understand her methods. Like, wait a minute, what? Like, how did that even come out? How do you? That's no. And it took a long time for me to come away from it. I don't even think I'm still all the way away from it, because some of the shit I'm like, that's ridiculous. But I don't say anything because I know that's her style of parenting and it works for her. Mm-hmm. And to me, sometimes I'm like, that's too much. Now, you know what I'm saying? And so even like when you were younger with Taylor, I used to be like, again, she gets away with murder. and you don't do anything about it.
Right.
But you fussing me for being upset because she's a kid.
Right.
And I just be like,
And
I never got it because I'm just like, yeah, no.
Yeah, because
that's
I'm
how
big
I was
on
raised. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
and I'm big on you don't have to discipline your child in front of anyone to show them that they're being disciplined, right? If I tell you, yes, I spoke to my child, then understand that I spoke to my child. I don't have to stand my child in front of you. Right, because because that's self-gratification. Right, because now you want to be
my kid to
right,
make
to
you
appease
feel
you.
better. Yeah,
Right, because for me, I feel like you want some type of self-gratification behind that. Kids are gonna be kids. Kids do things that kids do.
More of a sorry. Or
sometimes right, it's just spite that they have against the child, where they just want them to be punished. They can't punish them.
Exactly.
And they want you to punish them.
Exactly.
To teach them a lesson on your behalf.
Exactly.
When the lesson that they want you to teach is under false pretense. Like
exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna embarrass my child, and now I lose the respect of my child. Exactly.
And so that's the thing. That's it. That's it. That's the gist of it all, right? And so I, because even with my daughter, my daughter Elon, which is her biological child, I am not going to insert myself in ways that I shouldn't. I'm not her parent. I am her stepmother. And so it's certain things that you can't come in and do as a step parent. Yeah, I feel like you go to the parent with certain things, and you allow the parent to make the decision on what they're going to do with their child, because there are instances where the child rolling their eyes and sucking their teeth at you, right? And so it becomes a hostile environment. It becomes a toxic environment when all you got to do is if the step parent is coming to you and, hey, you know what I'm saying, I said A, B, and C, and baby rolled her eyes, sucked her teeth, and stumped in her room, go talk to her. You know what I'm saying? Because I may approach her differently, right? And and because who am I? And it's not step parent. I am stepping in, yes, but I can't assert myself in certain situations. That's something that a mother and child has to deal with, right? And so as long as I go to the parent, that keeps the lines of communication open for me and the parent, and that keeps the respect between me and the child, and it's a smooth sailing thing, because kids are defensive when you're not when someone is coming into the home. They already have their guards up. Who is this person? Why they not my mom or my daddy? Why did my mom and daddy last? Now this person about to try to step in and take over, and all these things they have in their head already. So as soon as you start trying to insert yourself, oh, you took this, or you gonna it's like, well, and then your mama not doing nothing, so now your mama to blame. You let her say anything. You let him say anything to me. That's why.
What's even worse when since we on the conversation of embarrassing your kids, like, disciplining them in front of other people. This idiotic trend that we've seen where parents
going on social media,
the shit,
yes,
and post it on social media.
Yes,
that's the worst thing that you can do.
It is.
As a parent, I don't care what the kid did. Disciplining them in private is the way to go. You don't want to. That's like doing like disciplining them in front of someone in person times 10 by posting that on social media. Because now it's up, and even when you come to the point where you may mature a little bit as a parent and you see that as being wrong, guess what? You can't even take that shit back because it's out there.
Because it's out there.
But then think about it.
When
you was a kid, well, not when you were a kid, when your parents were children, they used to get disciplined at the schoolhouse right there.
Yep.
Right, but you see, they took that away.
Yeah, but
we
got
disciplined.
Some of these kids is
we
fucked
got
up.
disciplined in the schoolhouse.
Yeah, we did.
I got disciplined.
We got disciplined by the teachers. How about that?
Yeah, I got popped. Listen, it was so many times we had to bend over and get paddled.
Absolutely, and you got them hands tore up at school.
Not hands. Listen,
okay.
My teacher used to bend us over and pat that ass.
At Michigan
right?
Institute, they used to pop us in our hands, inside the hands, on the back of the hands. Now, when I went to J Zoo, we got popped on the butt.
Yes, we had big ass paddles. I'm talking about my
big ass
gym
with
teacher
holes
had
in it.
holes in the
Yes.
paddle. And that motherfucker
We
go
said
back
the
and
same shit
swat.
at the-
Baby,
We said the same shit at
go
the same
home
time.
ass sore. But
Yeah.
guess what? That was the thing that they had in the schools. It was a to me a great disciplinary tool. And once they took it away, then you had to parent different. You had to
here's the
figure
thing,
it
too.
out.
On top of that, right after they took the disciplinary abilities away from the parents, I mean the schools, they took it away from the parents.
Parents, yes.
And now the
now
kids
kids can call the police.
CPS
Yes. Yes.
and get a response and check you now, right?
Let me tell you
I got
something.
the parent, yeah.
Let me tell you something.
That was my friend's daughter's favorite line. I'm
call
calling
CPS.
yes.
And-
Her favorite
and
line.
guess
I'm calling
what?
the
And
police.
every-
Don't you put
and-
your hands on
and
me.
every day
or I'm calling
like,
CPS.
And as soon as you said, I'd be like, well, hurry up and get your shit together. Because by the time they go here and I go to jail, you're going to need your clothes to leave with. Because you can't come back.
Well, but here's my thing too.
Yeah, come back. That's
Right.
it. You
But
can't fucking come back, and that's it. That's all.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, my mother told me to my face. She said, "Well, you got to live till they get here." And I said, "Oh, wait a minute.
shit.
Yeah.
Wait a
I
minute.
got a decision to
yeah,
make
I got
now.
a decision.
Like-
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That mean you go, oh yeah, I was just playing girl. But you back then you didn't even think of
So
nothing.
yeah, because I would have never fit my I would have never fixed my mouth to say it. And guess what? My kids never have fixed their mouth to say it to me.
My stepsister,
Right.
my stepsister called the police on her mother when she was talking back, getting smart, and her mom, like
Ooh, they going down in this thread.
that mama said, like who you talking to? And she steady going. That mama came across with that orange and stitch of cord, was like whap that ponytail right off their head. And we were in Dearborn. She called the Dearborn police.
Damn.
And the Dearborn police pulled up and was like, and if you call us again, we taking you. Like, the police was on the mama's side, like, you know what I'm saying? Because when they got there, she's like,
some of
and
them
this ain't my mama. She
Some
just
of them
going
understood
on.
that switch that was going on, where now the kids were beginning to have the leverage to use the authority over the parents,
And
and maybe even the cop had a kid like that at home and understood.
Or was just a person who probably gave their mama a hard time, like, girl, quit. And like he told her, he was like, next time you call us, we taking you and we charge you for taking us off the road. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like with Elon.
No, I was just reading some of the
go ahead.
comments. William said, I am a milkman. I only delivered to school for the past 15, 16 years. These kids curse out their teachers. Lunch ladies, they do it in front of the principals, and the principal won't do anything because they just want them to be in school. No matter what, we need to teach kids discipline from birth. I agree. Taylor said either that or one of her parents actually care. Her dad. This is talking about the young lady
The
that
young
you was
lady you
talking
picked
about.
up.
She said missed calls from dad and not mom says a lot. It says so much. William says you are 100%. You are 100% constant communication. Yes, yes. Leanna said if they don't respect their parents, they won't respect any type of authority. They feel entitled to their behavior because it went unchecked and accepted for so long. I
That
agree
part.
100%.
Me too.
Right? Because respect is the basis of it all, right? Regardless the age, regardless to who it is, it just has to be respect has to be across the board. Taylor says you gotta give respect to get it, regardless of age. Though I just said that. Yolanda said truth, but I don't know what we were talking about then. Leanna said be the kind of parent you wanted and needed. I agree.
Some people don't know what kind of parents they wanted or they needed because
they didn't have the parents, so they don't know. They
right.
don't
Because
have the code and still.
you like, oh, I'm gonna let my kid. I'm not gonna fuss at my kid for not going to bed on time, or I'm not gonna do this. And guess what? You not fuss at your kid not going to bed on time, and now your kid can't get up.
Too much
Yeah, now the kid can't get up on time for middle school, and they fell into
Right.
6th and 7th grade. Sometimes you have to be the parent that your parent was because some things work and some things do not.
Well.
Some things
it
work and
says
some
be
things
the
do not.
parent. It says be the parent that you wanted to have. Right?
Every kid
And
wants a
so-
parent to let them do what the hell they want.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I don't agree with that. Every kid don't want to have a parent that lets them do what they want, right? Every kid
just want a
wants
parent
to be
that
a parent that
understands.
understands. Right.
And when I say understand, that
Right.
means what I want to do.
No.
Come on now, be
No,
realistic.
Come on now. I listen. You see it. You see it in full flesh every day, right? It's not about you being a strict disciplinarian all the time. Because
My
I can be a
friends is
strict
going here. Can I go?
disciplinarian.
And you want that parent? You back then you be like, you want parent be like, yeah, go ahead, it's okay. Come on now. That's the same thing.
But it's not. It's not. You're missing the point when she said
No,
be a
I
parent
get what
that
you're saying.
that you wanted to have, and that's pretty much most kids want parents that's listening, understanding, communicating, giving them guidance, instruction that they can use and that they can understand, not just constantly beating in
But
their
as a
head
kid,
who they
you don't
want
know
them
that.
to be.
As a kid, you don't know that.
Yes, you do.
Not all the time, you don't.
Yes, you do. That's the thing. That's the problem.
Some kids it depends
kids
on
do.
where the kids are in their mind.
Right, that's what I
You
said.
have to know the kid
Right,
to know
but
what.
that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Most of these kids nowadays, to me, are very immature, all
Well-
the way up to their 20s. I'm like, what the? I
But
was.
you know, but the reason being is because they never was given an example of what mature is to pattern
Oh,
themselves
right.
after. Because like I can go to last summer, right? It was this is around the time the unfortunate situation had with Brittany.
Let me just point out what Taylor said too, real quick. She said talking like a best friend and being your kid's best friend is two different things. That's it. But go ahead.
Last year, you know what I mean, I had went through a situation that had me walking around with my AR on my chest around the hood, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was walking to the store. This is after one of the shows. It was a Tuesday night, and it was actually my birthday. It was an 11 to 12 show. So I'm walking up the street at just before 12 o'clock, and I noticed that there was somebody coming out of my neighbor's backyard, and there's an elderly couple. And I turned my head, and it's a young dude, right? And then when I turned around, he, man, my bad, because he see my AR on my chest, right? Oh, my bad, man. I'm looking for my cat. I said, what? Because I'm like, what the hell? You like who? You don't even. I know who lived there. You don't live. What you doing? It's a flashlight, man. It's a flashlight. I'm looking for my cat. So he covered behind the bush, and this 17-year-old boy got a long barrel 22 style pellet gun. Rifle, pellet gun. It looks like a real gun, and he has a flashlight taped to the front of it. It's damn near right after 12 at night. Coming out of somebody's backyard. I up on him like, dog, put that shit, like, what are you doing? Because I'm thinking that you in my neighbor's backyard about to knock on their door and play the robber. Right. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a fake gun or not. Put that shit down.
Right.
So, turned out there's a little boy down the street. He got the same kind of issue with a young girl. You know what I mean? His mom got a boyfriend down there, and he fighting him all the time. You know what I mean? So he just, his thing is when he get mad, he want to go outside and shoot birds and cats and shit. Oh. So that's what he was back there doing. So it ended up turning out right. I tried to take the little nigga under my wings. I almost killed him that night on my birthday, right? Took him down to his mama's house. His mama was at work. Mama wasn't at home, right? So his mom came down to my house the next day, apologizing and all of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So now, turn around a year later. Oh, and then not to mind you, his dad seen the video when I was live, and he tried to get crazy with me on Facebook too, right? And I keep that in mind. So now, a year later, just this past July, he got into it with his mom's boyfriend again. Okay, end up pulling out the gun, shooting him, didn't kill him, but now he's in jail for attempted murder. Right? So assault with a deadly weapon, less than great bodily harm. Right, and another charge, battery, some shit. You know what I mean? So whatever the hell. But the point is, like, again, when coming from these type of environment, and he was reaching out to me. He was, man, he was one of the kids that wanted guidance, right? But it was just because of the environment he was in and the circumstances that he was in, it kind of just pushed him to the point where he was at. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
D-Mac said, I think that parent and step parent need to be on the same page. And I agree 100%. But see, the same page doesn't necessarily mean that the step parent has to discipline the child that doesn't belong to them, and vice versa. Once you go into a situation, then it should be explained, or it should be communicated, right? Or this is how it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing this to your child, and I don't want it being done to my child, right? We got to make a smooth transition, because once you transitioning into that step parent phase, then it's difficult. You know what I'm saying? The kids are the most sensitive, right? You know what I'm saying? And the kids are always going to be the most sensitive. So I do agree that, the step parent and the parent should be on the same page, however they choose to parent, because that's what makes a household whole. And I think that for me and Elaine, that's where we bumped heads at for a long time when we first, got together. It was a lot of things that we had to really, because again, I'm raising 5 kids and she's only raising 1 child. so she doesn't know what it is to have multiple
different
kids,
personalities,
right? Exactly, that you have to tend to. She don't know, all of the things that take place with being a mother of multiple kids. You're only parenting your one child, and then your one child coming into a household of more than just her. She's used to being just a single, with her mom. So she's the only child. She's coming into a home where there's so many different attitudes. There's so many different people. And so she has to adjust. So the adjustment goes all the way around, right? So, yes, I do agree. Step parents and parents should always be on the same page. It takes some learning. It takes some time. It takes adjustments. And, it's however you want to parent. I tell Elaine the story of my stepdad all of the time because my stepdad came in my life when I was 5 years old. But my stepdad was quiet. You know what I'm saying? He let my mother do the parenting. He wasn't a disciplinary. He went and told my mother everything that she needed to know when it came to us. If we was doing something out of control, if we got in trouble, if we went down the street and wasn't supposed to, he'll make his voice known. Hey, are you supposed to be down the street? You know what I'm saying? And then we come running down the street.
It was an order. They had a hierarchy when it came to the kids. So it was an order of operation.
Exactly. That's not true. 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 We were not. We were not bad at all. That's the thing. We were not bad at all.
And they even had a saying that they made up. That's how you know they was bad. You know they was bad.
We were kids. And so so what we would do, because he'll say something like, but like I said, he was super quiet, stand back. He took care of the household. He took care of the household. We saw him mopping, cutting the grass, coming home, bringing that check home. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff that he was supposed to do as a man, right? And because we were not his kids, he went to my mother and told my mother the things that she needed to know so she could be aware and she could do what she needed to do as a disciplinary. But if he'd say something that say my mama told me and my brother, we can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? Mm-hmm. And he come in and he be like, why y'all in this kitchen making peanut butter and jelly? And my mama say, I told them they can do it, Jamie. And then me and my brother had a saying, and it was JFB alert, right? So we'll look at each other and be like, JFB alert, JFB alert. That was Jamie felt bold, So we did little stuff like that, but that was just being kids. And then as I became a mother, I understood and I understand as a kid, because I go back to my childhood. I take myself back to when I was a teenager. You know what I'm saying? And so I kind of parented and got through parenting that way. So for me, it wasn't a breeze because they still do what they wanted to do, and they still was some kids. But all of my kids are very they in they space. You know what I'm saying? They all following what they want to follow. They all figuring out the way they want to figure it out, and that's the way that I wanted it to be. So am I satisfied with the way that I parented? Yes. Do I feel like people need to step up a little more when it comes to parenting? Absolutely, because you cannot blame anyone else for the failures in your household but you, right? Because everybody has the same opportunities to learn, to teach, to relearn, to do things the way that they would want it to be done, even if you were raised in a situation to where it was not so great. Once you start to have children, you have to, once you know that you are bringing kids into the world, you have to start reevaluating yourself, reevaluating the things that you learn. And even if you don't think that it's your way of learning was wrong, you have to know that how you felt.
First of all,
you have to
they
go
just
back
need to
and
stop having babies they weren't ready to have.
Yeah, but you got to remember what you felt like as a child, right? You got to remember the way that you felt. When my mama said this to me, I felt fucked up. I felt defeated. I felt unloved. I felt this way. So I'm not going to intentionally put that on my child because I know what it made me feel like, right? So that's my thing. Tay Sosa, she says, honestly, I feel like sometimes it will feel more like the step kid is being picked on by the step parent. So I agree on letting the biological parent handle certain situations. But either way, both step parents should be respected regardless. D-Max said, I think parents Tay said, I never got the calling CPS because one thing about it, I'm mad at the moment, but I can't live without my mama. That's OD. Right. Right. You know, but a lot of kids don't feel like,
Well, like the little
a
girl.
lot of kids don't feel like they need their mama.
But remember the story I told you about the little girl that went to daycare with Elon? Her little brother went to daycare with Elon when they were like 4 and 5 or whatever. The sister got mad at the mother because she wouldn't let her do whatever, hang out, whatever the case was. She called CPS and said that her mama was beating her.
Oh, I think I do remember that.
And so in the midst of it, not only did they take her out the house, they took the little brother out the house
Yeah.
and sent the mama to jail.
Damn, without even no proof, just
But
word of mouth.
because she whooped her, she did whoop
Oh,
her,
she
but
did,
she didn't beat. You know what I'm saying? She ain't had no bruises and nothing like that on her. But yeah, and so the daughter was like, you know, I don't want to stay with my mama. She made a big deal out of it. So when they did that to her, they took the brother out the house.
Yeah.
So the little girl, you know, the family like, no, we don't want her. Hell no, she bad. No, you ain't coming in my house disrupting my house. You know what I'm saying? She went from one auntie to the other, and like literally, she ended up going to a foster home, and you know, after so long, the kids don't understand your actions. Every action has a reaction. Right.
Yeah.
Now you done got your brother taken away.
Yeah.
So,
Mama locked up.
And
for
he
nothing.
ended up
Yeah.
getting adopted out.
Damn.
And
Wow.
So, yeah, he got adopted out. So, but the daycare owner, Miss Betty, where Elon and the little boy, they still would visit him. Like
So the mother never got her kid back? Wow.
Nope. That's what I'm saying. When she made that one call, oh, she beat me, you know, they took both of them. And cause she
But
made
it
a big
had
deal.
to have been something that they
She
found.
locked herself in the bathroom and she called the police.
I'm saying after that they had to have
Yeah, that's what I'm
investigated,
saying,
and it had to
yeah.
have been.
Oh, it wasn't-
not,
it wasn't- it wasn't the first time.
Extensive of a
It,
measure.
it
Yeah.
wasn't the first time she had called. It was a I'm calling all the time
Well, it
thing.
had to been proof then. It had to been
Yeah, it
some
had
kind
to
of
been
proof.
some
She
type
must
of
have had
proof.
some kind of
Yeah,
marks.
Yeah.
she got a whooping like the mama said. Yeah, I whooped her. Okay, I whooped her. But like the constant call, that was just building the case.
And then you know what? All it took is for the right caseworker.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep. And her
One
mama.
of
To
them-
look
one
at
of
the
them
pictures
types, one of them types.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah.
Cause yeah, if I'm constantly seeing bruises, you know, and then we getting ridiculed for not doing our jobs already,
Yeah.
you know, then I gotta take immediate action. You know, if this baby calling constantly,
And
got
it sounded
bruises.
like the lady was just basically made an example of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
By
'Cause she
taking her
worked at
kids,
the-
that
she
she
worked
probably
at the
wasn't
post
that
office, yeah.
abusive of a parent.
And
Yeah.
that's
It
the
was
thing.
just
The little boy, they, you know, when you're a certain age, they don't question you because he
Right.
was only 5. But he cried for so long to go home with his mama. But being, you know, because
Yeah.
he went.
Well, here's the
he
thing,
went
though,
to the
with
foster
kids.
care, but then you know when mama went to jail, so eventually, and they,
Yeah, well, here's the thing though, with kids, you are more apt to be close to your abuser than the person that's not abusing,
yeah, but
right?
he
So,
wasn't getting
I'm
no
just
whoopings and
saying,
stuff, though.
I'm just
Stockholm
saying.
syndrome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
having
just saying,
sympathy for
it's-
your abuser and
yeah,
you know, what I'm saying, identify
yeah.
as the women that get abused and can't leave. Right?
Yeah, and same with kids. They're, you know, they're more apt to be with the person who, or want to be with the person who is whooping. You know, because keep in mind, you know, when you getting a whooping right, when your mama or your daddy whooping you and they like, I told your ass not to go outside and play. Do you supposed to do your whatever they saying in their head or out loud, the kid is getting it in their head, and so the kid is always wanting to get the parent
I
who's
get what you're
abusing
saying,
them
but that baby didn't get
approval.
whoopings.
Right? I'm just saying.
Oh, I get what you. But
I'm
I get
just
what you're saying. Yeah.
They always want to get that parent's approval. I want to make them proud. I don't want to do, because you was being bad as hell, badass, and in their head now they a badass, and they want to prove to that abuser that I'm not bad. I can do good. I can,
Yeah, that's true.
you know, I can be
need
proud of
whoopings.
you.
Some kids need something. Some of these kids are out of control, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and you can and do all that if you want to. The disrespect and the rolling of the eyes of the kids and everything, it's just too much.
How is whooping going to solve
I
that?
say even if it's not a whooping, what the timeout? That shit don't work. It don't always work.
Yeah, it does.
I'm taking your video games and your phone and shit. Why? So you can sneak in and get it later? That everything
But
don't always work.
But it works because in the interim,
It works.
It does.
You used to make your boys run laps. That works.
Right. I'm saying whatever method that you use outside of whooping.
Well, we have to be
works.
proactive as opposed to reactive. We can't wait till they get disrespectful and then try to check
Right.
them. But the thing about it is
Exactly.
you have to instill those things to them at an age
Exactly.
where it can actually be, it can grow into them. Don't try
Talk
to do it
about
when
it.
they've already grown into who they are. You know what I
Talk
mean?
about it.
So it matters. It's just doing it so it doesn't work when they're 17, 18.
Right.
Right? It works when they're 7 and 8. So that's when you have to. That's when you have
You
to
have to
instill
start
that into
early.
it, basically.
You have to
Yeah.
start early, and
Yeah.
it.
You
I'm
have
just
to
saying.
start at birth, right? It does. It has to happen at birth. You have to start disciplining or giving some type of having some type of fear, not really fear, but just putting your letting your kids know that you are the dominant force. You are the disciplinarian, but it don't have to be a whooping. It could just be, hey, I told you, sit your ass. You know what I'm saying? It could be one of those things, and then they know, but they may still do some things that ain't right. But as soon as you, and then they gonna stop and think about it, right? Like,
I just remember growing up as a kid, it was certain things you did not do. You did not do. You go over to somebody's house to eat, you're like, oh, that's nasty. I wish my mom would have smacked me out the goddamn chair. There would be no ifs, ands, and buts about it. What? She would have smacked me so goddamn hard out that chair. I didn't woke up like, I was just playing this good. But it's just, people let their kids voice their opinion to me a little bit too much. It's okay, you be like, ma, that food was nasty.
Well, see,
But you gonna go tell, tell the person that, this food is nasty.
Within letting them.
You laughing, but Taylor did that to me. Remember?
she did.
You remember that shit, and you thought it was funny. I'm like, that shit ain't cute at all. Right. My point is
But let me tell you something. I was just about to say Christian, my oldest son, he loved mac and cheese. I don't care he loved mac and cheese. My best friend's mother had made some mac and cheese. He was about 4 or 5, but he loved crab legs and mac and cheese. So we over there, holiday, and all he wanted was mac and cheese because we had watched her make it and everything. We had watched her make it and everything. And he was wanting that mac and cheese, and I got him a big scoop because I know he loved it. And I set it in front of him, and he got to eat it. He was like, this ain't no mac and cheese. This ain't no mac and cheese. This is milk. He was so upset because it wasn't
But
no
he was
cheese.
4. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's honesty. That's how you
that's
feel.
how-
Like he
And
has
then,
no
and then
filter.
that's how you, hey.
But see, again,
No,
that's
what
what I'm
do
about
you
to
do?
say.
No,
Within allowing your child to express yourself, you also have to teach them how to express themselves.
And
Right,
when
exactly.
to express
And when and
yes.
how, yeah, when
Because
and
if
where
you,
for everything.
Right, because you can't.
Just
But I
say
think
what you
it's
want
okay.
when you want to say
Yeah,
it.
but I think it was okay if she felt like
No,
the
it
food messy.
wasn't. It was-
This is a household,
But
right?
you have to think adults have feelings, and that's what
Yeah.
you failed to realize because you ain't got none. We talked
Yeah.
about this last time. God, we talked about this last time. You can't just let your child say what the fuck they want to say.
Yeah.
Oh, she just a kid. No, fuck that.
Well-
Because kids grow. Because then she go to school, be like,
What was
and
she-
say
what
something
she
to the
say?
parent, and it's like, I mean,
No.
to the teacher, then you like, she's just a kid.
No, because it's different, right? It's
No,
different.
it's not
It
different.
is. It's completely different in a household. I mean, if it came out like that, it probably just came out in a way of, oh my gosh, it's nasty, right? And
No,
it's
that ain't how
okay.
it came out.
Let's
That's how
say
it
he
came
was
out.
at home and it was in a setting where he felt comfortable to say that, right? As opposed
Right.
to being out in
Out in
public where I
public.
know
Yeah,
that,
these people,
even
yeah.
at 4
And that's
sometimes, not to say, your parents, you know what not to say, what to
Yes.
say in front of your parents.
Yes, and that's what I say all the time. My kids, we say some shit in the house, we do shit, but they know not to go outside of the house and be cutting up on nobody or
Yeah.
saying shit to somebody, And she be like, well, they should have that same respect at home. But sometimes, it's just the concept of our
should.
home. It's just it's just our thing.
And then how about in that
Because
moment?
they tell me some shit nasty.
In that moment when they're
Right.
experiencing that, they ain't putting on the filter. Oh, I better not say this. They
Right.
just immediate action. Oh, this shit nasty.
Right.
What is this, mama? Like,
Right.
I could have got away with it as a kid.
Right.
It wouldn't happen. All I could do was take it and put it in the napkin and throw it away. I could not have fixed my mouth to say no shit like that.
I
Baby,
told my mama a lot of stuff was nasty that she cooked, but
Yeah, or then,
and
that-
my
I
kids
doubt it.
tell me, yes, the fuck. Yes, and my kids, they used to have to eat beets, and they be like, I don't want to eat.
That's different. That's
It's
different.
not.
That's
How's it-
fucking
how's
different.
it
That's
different?
different. To say beets is nasty. That's a general thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, beets is nasty.
I love
no,
beets.
this is nasty.
I
What
love-
is this? Face all turned up.
I
You look
love
like,
beets.
What's the... Right, you love beets.
Right, so it's not a
That's the
general
same thing with me saying I don't like liver. Yeah, my mama knew I ain't like liver, but guess what? I had to eat it. But I ain't fixed my mouth. If my stepfather
Taylor
cooked
remember
something,
what it was. She was like, it was the gravy.
and it
like,
was
"It was
still
the gravy."
disrespectful the way she said it. I said what I said,
How?
but you never saw fault in none of that stuff anyway. That's where
Yeah,
our
'cause I-
arguments came in at
Yes,
all the time.
Because I let them, be expressive. If they don't like something, they don't have to like it.
I didn't say they had to like it.
And they
You
don't
just
have,
throw
and
it
they-
away.
Right, but
Just
they
throw it away.
They can tell. Like I
Tay
said.
would tell our mama when she falling off too, like, you rush this. And
Yes, they do. They be like, this is not what you done cooked before.
No.
This is nasty. I'd be like, well, eat it or don't. It's fine.
They,
you know what I'm
but see,
saying?
they joke with her. You know what I'm saying? They had that. All her
Like, they
kids
know
joke
they can
with her.
play- they can-
Yeah,
yeah.
all her kids have it. Even the boys now still
Well, see,
call
you know
her
what?
and be like, "Mom, what the fuck is that on
Sometimes-
your
listen,
head?" You know what I'm saying?
it's
They call
cool.
her and joke with her all the time.
It's cool
hard.
to have that relationship now because now you give an open lane for them to express themselves
Yes.
without you
Yeah.
being offended, right? And
Yes.
then without them not feeling like it's going to be taken as offense. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, I can tell my mama that this ain't without her. You know what I mean? Because,
Yes.
kids will probably
Elaine
rather
would be
that.
talking about something. I ain't cooking no
Oh, I tell them
more.
all the time, I ain't cooking no more. Fuck y'all. That's it, starve. Go make a sandwich, eat some cereal. I'm not cooking for y'all no more. And I said it for real, and I
Or
I
even
meant
worse,
this shit.
you can be like my
But
dad,
it be
right?
something good.
I told him I
good.
don't like potato salad.
Ooh,
And
I
he
hate
wanna-
it.
He tried to make me eat the shit anyway. And I'm like, no, I don't just because you like it, you want to like it. It
But
ain't
that's how-
nasty. Like, I'm telling you that I don't like the shit.
That's how it
Is
used to be
my
when
tongue
you was
in your
kids.
mouth?
That's
Yeah.
how it
So
used
how
to
you
be.
gonna tell me that it
Let
ain't
me
nasty?
tell you.
But that's
Let
how
me
it used to
tell
be.
you
My
a
granny would
story.
sit you at that table. You would sit there to that
They
plate.
gonna make me eat some
I-
shit that
Your
I
breakfast
don't
is
like.
supposed to be dried up before you get to walk away from that table.
I fucked around and I threw some potato salad away. I hate it.
I
I hate potato salad. And the thing about it is, my mama, because I didn't like it, my mom used to make me make it all the time. Like that was my
Like, see
that
why?
was my
Well,
meal.
see what I'm saying?
right.
That's some toxic bullshit right there,
Exactly.
man.
Exactly.
That's some
And so
bullshit.
she would put it on my plate for me to eat it anyway. So one time I took that motherfucking, I was like, she's not subjecting me to this anymore. So I took that shit off my plate, put it in a napkin, and threw it in the garbage. And she went to dump her ashtray because she smoked. And she dumped the ashtray and realized up under the napkin it was potato salad. She made me take that shit out of the garbage and eat that shit. She made me eat that shit. And that was one of them things that I was like, I would never, my kids, if they don't like it, they ain't got to eat it because that
See?
traumatized me,
Man,
right?
that's some bullshit,
and I
yeah.
still, and in my
So
adult
now,
taste buds, I
that's
don't fuck
what we're
with it.
talking about when we say we want the type of parents that we were. When
Exactly.
we wanted. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to
Exactly.
be the type of parent that I wanted.
Exactly.
Like, understanding that discipline is necessary.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to make my son eat no fucking potato salad if he don't want to eat no fucking potato salad. My son told me
But
at
that
3
used to be the
that something
rule
was
in the
nasty.
house
All right, I
because-
took it. All right, let's get something else.
Yes, exactly.
But
Well,
see,
I'm not about to-
that used to be the
Exactly.
rule in the house because first of all, didn't nobody have money anyway. So I'm not making 5 different meals because you said you don't want to eat some. That's how
Nah.
it used to be in the older houses.
But
Well,
you
you
know,
don't
but
have
you
to
know
make
what it
5
is.
different
You
meals,
know
you
what it
just
is.
cook
If
till
you
you
know,
like it.
if you know what your kids like, then make what the fuck they like. You don't make what you want and force them to eat it.
Exactly. If you
I'm
It's
gonna
want
make it
some,
for myself though, but shit, your ass gonna be hungry.
See,
That's
that's
it.
the
And with the
that's
beef,
kind of being a
though-
selfish parent. Now I'm gonna
Yeah.
cook what I like, and you just gonna eat it because this is what I like.
yeah.
What
I'm
you
gonna
just
cook.
said.
I'm gonna cook everything, and if that's what you don't like, and that's majority of the food, then you gonna be hungry. Because why I can't have what I want just because you don't like it all the time?
because you became a parent.
That don't mean
and
you got
that's
to.
just
That
what
don't
it do.
mean you have
So
to not
then-
have
so
your
then
life.
you have
So it's
to-
either-
then you
so
just
you
cook
said-
your own
No,
little
because if
stuff.
I like broccoli and I know my child don't like broccoli, I'm just not gonna put the broccoli on your plate. You had the meat and the potato,
Right.
and I'm gonna eat the broccoli. But you like, oh man,
and make
I'm
them some
hungry.
green beans.
I'm not cooking 2 or 3
Right, you
different
don't
things. You don't have to.
But
just-
you like green beans too. Here's the thing. I used to make my kids eat veggies.
because
it's
a kid,
supposed to.
a kid gonna
They
be like, I don't
to.
want broccoli.
So yeah, they
This is
gotta eat the
green.
beets. Yeah, they gotta eat the beets.
So
they gotta
so
eat
right,
the
so
broccoli.
now
they gotta eat the green
you-
beans.
I'm
They
not
gotta
Find
have
some
it.
vegetables that they like and
And
accommodate it.
most kids don't
And-
like none of them because
Yeah, so
they
they-
know it's a vegetable.
Right.
Yeah,
So I'm putting 2 or 3 on your plate.
Yeah, and you're gonna eat them.
And you're
You're
gonna
gonna
eat
eat the 2 or 3 vegetables because you're supposed to. I ain't gonna make you eat a
Because
whole
it's not a
bowl full of
nasty
broccoli.
taste.
You get what I'm saying?
And then here's the thing, right? It's a difference between
Potato salad. You don't have. That's not.
It's
that's not something that you gotta eat.
I was about to say it's different between forcing something on your child that you know that's good for
onions
them
and green peppers and
versus
all that
forcing
shit.
something
Well,
on
that's
your.
just like with Brooklyn. Brooklyn went through her. I don't want to eat seafood. I'm not gonna stop eating seafood in this house because you don't want no seafood. You just don't eat the damn seafood.
Right, but
That's
then
it.
we have
That's
to still
all.
accommodate her.
But you
with
gotta
what
make
she do
chicken
eat.
when you can't make
Right,
seafood, though, right?
exactly.
No,
Right.
she would eat the side. She wouldn't even attempt to eat the meat.
So she just don't eat meat.
Like if we fried fish, because she went through a stage of like where fish died, she wouldn't eat fish. So she went through a stage like, I'm not fucking with that fish, and I don't want no shrimp. I don't want nothing seafood.
Nothing out the water.
I don't want
Right.
nothing Nemo can come in contact with. That's it. So she would eat the sides and wouldn't eat the fish.
Right.
And I was okay with that because I know
Yeah.
you're traumatized right now. You don't want to eat fishy fish because fishy fish died.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
that's fine.
Right.
But I'm not gonna change my whole menu because you don't want to eat fish. I'm not
Right.
gonna
Well,
not
the
cook fish
protein
no
is just
more.
not yeah, that's something that okay. As long as they got the sides and they can eat the sides, you know, she don't want to eat fish. Okay, but it's been some time, and she not a chicken eater. Like my daughter eats sides.
She is picky. She'll go.
Yeah, she
and you
eats
know, now that
sides.
they're older, it pisses me off more because I cook all this food, and then go down there and get cereal and noodles.
I was that kid.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't like what you was eating, it's like I'll find something else.
But no,
to eat.
it ain't that she didn't like it. She just didn't want to eat, and so she waits till I put it in the refrigerator and come down there and make cereal.
Because
and
she not pulling
noodles.
it out to get her none. You know what I'm saying? She just don't eat noodles or cereal. But you know, she'll be 18 soon. So, you know, the way that they go about things and do things is just the way that they do. But, so yeah. Yeah. Overall though, it's definitely, once you become a parent, you definitely have to, parent.
And if you're not ready to become a parent, don't take measures to not be a parent. Take birth control. Don't try to have babies to keep the nigga because the nigga that ain't gonna keep no nigga.
Yeah, and you do have to be aware of everything because some parents think that, you know, my mama would have slapped me in my face if I did A, B, and C, and I'm letting my child do A, B, and C, right? Or you know, kids gonna do what they want to do regardless, or you know, they gonna and that is true. But you still have to, like I say, you still have to have that communication, you know, because yes, kids are going to still do what the fuck they want to do, but you gotta keep the lines of communication open because when they out there doing whatever they doing, the voice of reason is gonna pop in.
Hopefully,
It's
peer pressure.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time. I know all of the bad shit that I did when I was a kid. I still thought about my mama selling crack and all, right?
And it's okay for if you can't
Because
go to
let
your
me tell you
parents, go
something.
to your friends' parents.
I'm selling crack,
You get what I'm saying?
and
Go
I'm
to your
still
friends'
thinking
parents.
about
Go to
I'm gonna
somebody
get.
else.
I'm still thinking about if you come to my fucking door, I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah, because you was in your
and I'm
mama's house.
selling
fool.
crack, right?
Bad as hell.
I'm selling crack. But I know, motherfucker, if I'm in the house, do not come fucking on my porch and knock on the door because I'm in trouble, right? I'm in trouble. So I ain't no hood ass motherfucker for real. Like I'm hood, I'm doing hood shit. I'm from, you know, doing what we do, but I'm still scared of my mama, right? Okay. So my thing is, you know, there's still some level of the voice in your head if you have that communication.
Conscious.
Yeah, right, exactly. I hear my mama and I see her, you know, when I'm doing some wrong shit. So that's why that communication gotta stay open. But y'all, we are wrapping up because we have reached our final 5 minutes on the show. So we are gonna get Profound E's final thoughts.
I'm just going to say, it's okay to be a parent. It's okay to discipline your child when they're wrong. It's okay to not be your child's favorite person in the world every day because that's what being a parent is about. And just know that, you know, it's not easy being a parent, a step parent. Hell, it wasn't easy being a kid. But just know that you have to
go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You just have to take it day by day. If you don't like some of the things that how you were raised, change them. If you like some of the things that made you who you were as a person, keep them. And if you a kid and you listening or you have a friend that can't go to their parent, like, you know, you can go to my mama. My mama talk to you. You know, it's so much. It's so hard out here now for kids versus it was with us. But, you know, and be prepared for these babies, y'all. Seriously, just be prepared for these kids. These kids need us out here because, man, every day, it's every day I see something about a kid doing something they had no business doing because it's like, where the hell was your mama at? Or your daddy, your grandma, somebody. But,
yeah, how about this? I've been seeing so many cases. I know y'all been seeing too, where these teenagers is actually shooting and killing their parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's getting bad out here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that little boy, he killed his mama and his stepdad.
And then the other one killed his mom and his daddy and his girlfriend.
Yeah. So before I do my final thoughts, Taylor want me to read her comments. She said she remembered that. She said, my daddy used to make us stand in the corner, squat positions with books in our hands. Yes. She was like, just throw the plate away upside down. And she said, it was the gravy. She said, we'll tell our mama when she's falling off too. Like, you rushed this. Yes, she did. Yes, she will. She said, we still had to eat beets, gagging and all. She said, no, be for real, Ma. You used to feed us shit when we didn't want to eat it. Yeah, I did, but it was good for you. That's why I did that. She said, Elaine be like, well, don't eat it, starve then. Right, that's her thing. We couldn't be excused from the table if we still had veggies on our plate. That is true. I didn't say that I didn't feed you all veggies. That was important, but I don't feed you all something that you just didn't like liver, or, you know, even when y'all expressed y'all didn't like it, then it was only cooked for me, right? So she said, I ain't gonna like you every day, but I'm gonna love you forever and be grateful. Right? That's the bottom line. You know, you can't expect your kids to like you every day. You know, you still have to be a parent. And so that goes into my final thought. You know, just understanding that parenting comes with many different hats, and you have to, you know, take a step back before you ruin yourself and your children's selves, right? So for me, I feel like for the most part, are we to blame for the way that our kids turn out, right? For the most part, 99% of me says yes, right? Because even if when the kids are coming back and killing their parents, you know, because their parents are telling them no, right? Well, the reason why they're killing them, because, you know, you can't start off saying yes, 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 and then getting tired in the end and start saying no, right? The discipline starts in the beginning, right? So if they know the boundaries, if they already know that it's a no, then they're more apt to accept the no, versus it's always yeah, and then now it's no, or now I'm taking your phone, or now I'm doing all of these things. You know, you can't flip the script, right? And if your children is already in a position or a place of not being able to accept the no's in the beginning at 4 and 5 years old, then that's a problem, and then that needs to start to be resolved immediately. Whether it is they need counseling to understand what no really means, or you have to take more steps on becoming effective with that thing, right?
You talking to us when you said that?
I'm just saying.
Because
so
that
that's my.
Said he don't understand no.
Well, that's because we give him a lot of yeses, and so when we come back with no, then it's a problem. And so but yeah, that's my final thought. We are out of here. So in between time, this has been Equally Not. Thank you all for tuning in. I am D.L. Collins, your host, along with my co-host Profile E. We are out of here.
All right, y'all.
Warning. You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7